Welcome to the Everything Podcast. This episode, I'm going to be recapping the Fourth Doctor Adventures 2024 and 2025 releases, including a bonus release which was released to commemorate the Fourth Doctor's 50th anniversary, but more on that later in this episode. But before I do that, apologies to Matt for the length of these episodes. I promise you that some will be shorter than others. I do promise you that. We are heading that way. It's just going to take us a little while to get there. But especially kind of, I think, in the next couple of episodes, because it's going down to 5 episodes from March 2026 and 3 episodes a week from April 2026, that's why. So we're going to start off with the first release, which is the Fourth Doctor Adventures Series 13, Storm of the Sea Devils. So as I have in previous Big Finish recaps, going to talk about the release, show you the trailer, read the synopsis rather, show you the trailer, and then talk about the episodes. This box set has got 2 stories in it. So we're going to Storm of the Sea Devils and Worlds Beyond. So let's start with Storm of the Sea Devils, which has been written by David K. Barnes and is 4 episodes long with the following synopsis. Surgeon Lieutenant Harry Sullivan is supposed to be on holiday, but his arrival in Calcutta is intercepted by someone from the local branch of UNIT. A staff member called Naomi Cross. A businessman in the area has mysteriously cancelled the opening of his new hotel, and local villagers have reported sightings of devils in the swamps. Devils that look very familiar from the UNIT files. The businessman requires medical aid, so UNIT have decided to send him a doctor. Unfortunately, when Harry and Naomi arrive on site, they find a different doctor has got there ahead of them, and that's just the start of their troubles. We also have Worlds Beyond, written by Robert Kahn and Tom Slinsky, which is a 2-episode story with the following synopsis. The Doctor, Harry and Naomi have arrived in a luxury resort world where custom-made holidays are provided for every visitor. Their minds are scanned and their ideal getaway is planned. Naomi gets an activity break by the sea. Harry explores a crumbling ruin, and the Doctor ends up playing chess with Alan Turing. All seems idyllic, but every paradise must have a stake, mustn't it? This was recorded on the 19th and 21st of March, as well as the 14th of June 2019. So speaking about, moaning about nearly a year, that's like 5 years since it was recorded to release date. And the main cast includes Tom Baker as the 4th Doctor, Eleanor Crooks as Naomi Cross, and Christopher Naylor as Harry Sullivan. Not the whole cast, just the main cast. But before I let you know my thoughts, here's the trailer for the 4th Doctor Adventures, Storm of the Sea Devils.
Surgeon Lieutenant Harry Sullivan.
Naomi Cross, online from the UK.
You're with UNIT.
From Big Finish Productions, The Fourth Doctor Adventures, Storm of the Sea Devils.
Welcome to Kolkata, Dr. Sullivan.
Does the name Ramesh Kamal mean anything to you?
The Professor.
We intercepted a communication from the hotel. Mr. Ramesh Kamal needs a doctor. We thought we'd send him one.
Well. Hello, Harry. Fancy seeing you here.
I asked for a doctor, and then 2 turn up at once.
What could have caused damage like that?
None of us are safe. The creature is here.
I've always been fond of reptiles.
It's a sea devil.
There have been legends of such creatures going back centuries.
The Professor spoke of more than them living in the swamp somewhere.
You're meddling in things you don't understand.
Oh, she's right, Kamal. You're stirring up a hornet's nest.
Our warriors are revived. I will lead the attack. By morning, we will have purified the rivers with human blood.
Naomi, tell me, have you ever been to other planets? I think you'd rather like them. Here we are, the planet Erin, in the Arfax system. Very remote.
Erily is the premier holiday planet across the entire galaxy.
This is the entry portal. Step through here.
I've become rather good at spotting virtual worlds over the years.
Harry Sullivan! Naomi Cross!
Yes, you're Professor Alan Turing.
I'm feeling well. I'm all dizzy.
What have they done to you?
No one's coming. Be careful what you wish for, Naomi. Sometimes it proves fatal.
I think the air is running out.
Sounds like this whole scenario's collapsing.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was the trailer for the 4th Doctor Adventures, Storm of the Sea Devils. So I do remember for some reason, more of this set than I have some of the other sets that I've talked about recently. But kind of, so the Sea Devils, it's a very strange one, Storm of the Sea Devils, because it was recorded before Legend of the Sea Devils was released, which was the penultimate story featuring Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor on TV, but was released like 2 years afterwards. So I was familiar from the Sea Devils from that, but it was recorded before that. And that is a similar issue, which I will get to in the next set as well, interestingly. But kind of, so I knew who the Sea Devils were, which was helpful. You don't need it, but it was helpful to go, oh, that's what the Sea Devils are like, because I've not, as I've talked about previously, I prefer the new series of Doctor Who to the classic, because that's what I've watched more of. So kind of that was helpful. And Worlds Beyond, again, kind of, I really enjoyed that story for some reason. I really remember it, especially with the trend just trigger in the memories of it, because yeah, it's a kind of, they're all split up and kind of have their ideas. So I especially remember the scenes between the Doctor and Alan Turing, who I actually learned about at school because he's got something to do with making computers and programs, and he was really clever and really sciencey. So into tech. So yeah, kind of, I really enjoyed that. And the Fourth Doctor is one of those ones, because he of the classic Doctors has the most releases ish, or kind of on par with the Eighth Doctor if you're gonna if you include the Time Warp stuff that he does and some of his other appearances, where basically, especially last year, it felt like if they needed a Doctor to appear in something, it was Paul McGann. They are kind of trying to spread the load a little bit more now. Now they've got kind of most of the new series Doctors in some form of Big Finish, whether that be through the TV actors doing it or recasts. So they kind of are spreading it out a bit more. But yeah. Now next on to the next instalment of the Fourth Doctor Adventure Series 13, which is Metamorphosis. So before I show you the trailer and let you know my thoughts, we're going to read the synopsis. I should mention that Metamorphosis was released in June 2024. And the box set has a synopsis, and then we'll talk about the individual stories. So the box set synopsis is as follows. From the recent past to the far future, the Doctor, Harry and Naomi find themselves battling foes old and new. From the malevolence of the Master to the traps of the Toymaker, danger lurks around every corner, and sometimes in the last shape you expect. So the first story in this box set is titled Madrushka, I'm going with, written by Aurora Fernley, and it is a 2-episode story with the following synopsis. When a strange force drives the TARDIS to Earth, it's clear that the Doctor, Harry and Naomi are up against an incredibly powerful being. And when they encounter Lord Pearson, inventor of games and toys, searching for his vanished daughter, it becomes clear exactly who that being might be. Hide and seek is one of the simplest games devised by man, but in the hands of the Toymaker, it may also become the deadliest. You might see what I was talking about before when I was talking about stories that were released before, but with the audios were recorded before, but yeah, you know what I mean. Then we have The Cage Assassin, written by Matthew Sweet, which is 2 episodes long. Spoiler, I really like this story. Just a little inkling, I'll get onto that after I've showed you the trailer, but it's very unusual to find a tiger in the TARDIS, but it's even more usual to find one heavily dosed in radiation. But this is far from the most unusual occurrence the Doctor, Naomi and Harry are going to encounter today, because they're about to meet Charles Jamrich, supplier of exotic animals to the rich and royal, who is unaware that his favourite Manjuri conceals a deadly terror, a strange creature out for blood. Then we have Metamorphosis, the title story, written by Lisa McMullen, which is also a 2-episode story with the following synopsis. The people of the planet Juxus are vanishing. When the Doctor and his friends land, Naomi is snatched away by a mysterious fog and taken to a prison run by a very old foe of the Doctor's. The Master is here, and he has, as ever, a sinister scheme underway, but neither Naomi nor Harry know who he is. Can the Doctor stop his plans and rescue the prisoners, or will his companions inadvertently aid his enemies' plans? The Fourth Doctor Adventures Metamorphosis was recorded, we've got a few dates here, the 9th of April, the 13th of September and 28th of October 2019, as well as the 1st and 3rd of June 2020. The main cast is as follows. We have Tom Baker as the 4th Doctor, Christopher Naylor as Harry Sullivan, Eleanor Crooks as Naomi Cross, Annette Badland as the Toymaker and Madame Bizet, and Jeffrey Beavers as the Master, amongst some others. But kind of, yeah, before I spoil too much about my thoughts, especially about the Caged Assassin, which I think is brilliant, here is the trailer for the Fourth Doctor Adventures Metamorphosis.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Fourth Doctor Adventures, Metamorphosis.
Pearson's. We manufacture games.
I'm the Doctor. This is Naomi. And that's Harry.
That's me.
I think we might be out of time.
The ground is checkered, the board is set, and finally the player arrives.
Ah, the Toymaker.
Wombats. Rossetti was mad for them the moment he saw them. Wrote poems about them.
Dante Gabriel Rossetti, the painter. These people
Are mixed up in something dangerous with an extraterrestrial angle. A radioactive tiger, blaster damage in the Victorian pet shop. Mysterious voices behind the wall, Harry.
Well, blow me. It's a wombat with a ray gun.
Soon.
2.5 suns, added atmosphere, purple undulating sky. The planet Jaxus, am I right, Carlo?
See me.
People always go missing when the fog descends.
Decay.
You. Who are you?
Death.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
And so, their games continue.
That was the trailer for the Fourth Doctor Adventures Metamorphosis, and I may have spoilt my thoughts on the Caged Assassin, especially before I showed you the trailer. But if you want to listen to any Fourth Doctor release from 2024, for the main Fourth Doctor Adventures range, this is definitely the one, in my opinion, to pick up, because it's 3 stories, 2 of them featuring old enemies of the Doctor, obviously the Toymaker and the Master, as well as blooming wombats. It's a brilliant idea. So we're going to do them in chronological order. So we'll start linear order. So we'll start with Mashuka, which is the Toymaker story. This was a story that I was alluding to before when I was talking about kind of the something that had been kind of released beforehand. So by the time when this came around, I knew who the Toymaker was. Because similarly to Legend of the Sea Devils, before that, I had no idea, before the Giggle, which was the third and final 60th anniversary special, to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, I'd never heard of the Toymaker at all. It was only when it was, who's Neil Patrick Harris players, it was being kept a secret for ages. I think it was only like 8 or 9 weeks before the episode aired that kind of we knew he was playing the Toymaker. That it was kind of like, whoa, what's this? Because I knew Neil Patrick Harris from playing Barney on How I Met Your Mother, and obviously the Toymaker is evil. I've never seen Neil Patrick Harris as evil, full on evil before. So, yeah, it was kind of nice to have that, and I recognised Annette Badland's voice, obviously from playing Margaret Slitheen in Doctor Who Series 1 in 2005, which obviously I did not watch when it came out because I would have been 1 and wouldn't remember it anyway. And also she appeared in The Miniaturist, the second story in The Outlaws, which was the first box set of the Stephen Noonan era of the First Doctor Adventures, as I am dubbing it. I don't know if anybody else has done it, but that's what I've done. Now let's move on to my favourite story in the box set, spoilers, The Caged Assassin, written by Matthew Sweet. Now this was the story that I kind of was good. I think this is why I enjoyed it so much, because I had no expectations for it. I was like, we've got a Toymaker story, we've got a Master story, and kind of know what I'm getting with this. I had no idea, so I think when it was turned out that the wombats were kind of evil and kind of had guns, as we heard in the trailer, it was a nice surprise, and I really enjoyed it. It has made me think about re-listening to it. It's just because you have to concentrate more with audio, it's finding the time to do it, so it's one of those. And then the third and final story, Metamorphosis, of the title story featuring the Master. Again, kind of it's a story with the Master. What isn't to love about that? So yeah, I think it's a fantastic box set. I don't want to repeat myself, but if you haven't heard this box set, and you can get it, I would suggest listening to it, because all the stories in this box set are good or great and fantastic, and really show what Tom Baker's Fourth Doctor, Christopher Naylor's Harry, and Eleanor Cross's Naomi can do. But next up is the finale of the Fourth Doctor Adventures Series 13, which is Dominant Species, which has a slightly different format. There's only 2 stories in this set, and I'll get to why. But it was released in September 2024. The first story in this set is titled The Face in the Storm, written by Sarah Groshella. It's 2 episodes long, this one, with the following synopsis. 1916, and the TARDIS has landed in the cargo hold of the SS Maycrest, a ship transporting soldiers across the Atlantic, except that's not all being transported across the ocean, because the Doctor and his friends find a strange crate in the hold, a crate that's unnaturally cold, but the contents of the crate are not the ship's biggest secret, nor its deadliest threat. We then have Dominant Species, written by the fabulous John Dorney, like John Dorney's scripts, all of them he's written for so many Doctors and things, and it's amazing. Again, let's not be a John Dorney fan. Let's continue the episode. It's 4 episodes long with the following synopsis. It's been a long time since the invasion of Tel'Rula. The population is enslaved and subject entirely to the will of the conquerors, the dominators, and their deadly robot servants, the Quarks. The Doctor, Harry, and Naomi stumble into this perilous scenario and are soon separated, but freeing the people of Tel'Rula should be business as usual, shouldn't it? When the Dominators are concerned, things may not be so simple. This was recorded on the 14th and 21st of October 2019, as well as the 5th and 13th of October 2020. We've got a little comment here. Dominant Species concludes the Fourth Doctor Adventure Series 13 in its story arc following Harry and Naomi's journeys with the Fourth Doctor. The pair's adventures continue in the Unit Nemesis series, which began in 2021. And Doctor Who, the Seventh Doctor Adventures, Sullivan and Cross AWOL. I'm going to talk about Unit in a little bit as well, in a future episode, as well as the Harry and Naomi's adventures with the Seventh Doctor. That I'll be talking about that, not in its entirety, but bits that I have listened to in a future episode. But now to the cast of the Fourth Doctor Adventures Dominant Species, which obviously includes Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor, Eleanor Crooks as Naomi Cross, and Christopher Naylor as Harry Sullivan. That is the main cast. So before I let you know my thoughts on this box set, it's time for the trailer for the Fourth Doctor Adventures Dominant Species.
I'm the Doctor. This is Naomi and Harry.
Hello. Hi. From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the Fourth Doctor Adventures, Dominant Species.
Ah!
What happened?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. The power's out, though we appear to have arrived somewhere.
Right, where's that?
Looks like the hold of a ship.
HMS Maycrest. Seems familiar.
Hands up. Drop your weapons.
What was that?
Friend of yours? What's up with
U-boat attack. Is the crate secure?
Naturally, we were curious as to what was inside. That lock is a work of art.
All is prepared.
This place looks like a war zone.
What? Destroy! A quark? You're a quark! Deadly robot servant of the Dominators.
The Dominators rule this system. You shall obey their orders.
I remember the Dominators, you know.
Nasty little bullies.
Teleria was the first planet they invaded.
We're outmanned and outgunned.
We have no leaders.
Our parliament was destroyed in the first attack.
Doctor, what do we do?
At this precise moment?
Yeah?
I've absolutely no idea.
Let us look after you, Nala. We'll keep you safe.
No one can, not from the Dominators.
No, Naomi, stop!
The explosive device is primed. The detonation process is ready to activate.
Big Finish for the love of stories. I lost the planet. I lost my friends. I promised them a holiday. All I delivered was death, a horrible death.
that was the trailer for the Fourth Doctor Adventures Dominant Species, as I said before, the finale of the Fourth Doctor Adventures Series 13. But yeah, so it is kind of, I should mention this, but I will talk about the episodes in a second, but the Fourth Doctor Adventures does have more of a concurrent kind of series arcs as to, and kind of the best and the most for the more most of a story arc, that's what I'm trying to say, that a classic Doctor has. Obviously, the new series Doctors are used to having story arcs, but the classic Doctors are not so much. And especially with the first and second Doctors, when they only have kind of a story a year, it's a multiple year arc. Kind of same with the eighth Doctor, with some of the other Doctors, whereas the Fourth Doctor, it kind of is in one calendar year, usually, normally in the box sets, because there are more box sets, they're able to line them up a bit better. But the Face in the Storm, the first story in the set, I don't remember much about, and that's kind of because we lead into Dominant Species. So the Face in the Storm is kind of quite, it's just a story. It kind of focuses more on Naomi's past and who she was and kind of who her ancestors were. But so now let's focus on Dominant Species, which I do remember much about. I'll start off with the kind of the cliffhanger to the first half of that story, which is what the Doctor talks about. That last scene of the trailer where he believes that Naomi and Harry are dead. Spoiler alert, they're not. But he believes that they are. That's kind of that, and kind of I also like obviously the Fourth Doctor. Naomi and Harry are brilliant because it's kind of the end of the Fourth Doctor's travels with Harry and Naomi. Obviously sets up. So I think kind of jigging around a little bit, that kind of ends up with him, Unit receiving a message from the Doctor, I think, or kind of that might be a Unit, I can't quite remember. But yeah, kind of they say goodbye within that, and kind of the Quarks are, you've probably heard them, they are, yes, they're slaves, and that's obviously not great, and they're doing work of evil people, but they are just nice. They are cute, and they just sound adorable. And if you look on the poster, they look. Are they the Quarks or the Dominators on the cover? I don't know. So they, yeah, because I don't think the Dominators tend to speak too much, but the Quarks you heard in the trailer there. So, yeah, yeah, it's just one of those. And I have actually decided... No, I won't actually. I was considering splitting this episode into two. I won't. So yeah, we're on to the next release now, which is the Fourth Doctor Adventures: The Curse of Time, which is the special release I had mentioned at the start of the episode to celebrate 50 years as Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor. So this has been written by Jonathan Morris with the following synopsis. After being dragged through a rip in the time vortex, the TARDIS returns the Doctor, Sarah and Harry to Earth. They are in medieval times, but something strange is afoot. The villagers live in fear of the sinister Brotherhood, an order of the monks that upholds the sacred laws. Then there's Faustus Black with his troupe of travelling players. What connects them is a terrible secret hidden in the Forbidden Forest, a cave from which nobody has ever returned. It was recorded on the following dates, the 17th and 24th of October 2023, as well as the 22nd of January and 5th of February 2024. So it is a lot closer to normal Big Finish gaps between recording and release dates than the Fourth Doctor Adventures tends to. It used to be 4 or 5 years. With the following cast: Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor, Sadie Miller as Sarah Jane Smith, and Christopher Nolan as Harry Sullivan. That is the main cast. So before I let you know my thoughts, here is the trailer for the Fourth Doctor Adventures: The Curse of Time.
What's happening?
A temporal schism. From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Fourth Doctor Adventures: The Curse of Time.
You are? Me? I'm the Doctor. This is Sarah, and this is Harry.
Oh, a village.
Looks positively medieval.
Our story is one you will know, but which bears repeating.
The monks.
It is the tale of how man was judged and found wanting, and how a great disaster befell the earth.
He's talking about the solar flares and the arc in space.
But one man, Noah,
foresaw the disaster and built a great ark.
It seems to have become the stuff of legend.
But that means we're even further into the future.
Man could only survive if he turned his back on technology and lived according to the laws of nature.
Condemned to live, stuck in the Dark Ages.
A trial? You're putting the Doctor on trial?
The penalty is death.
The real Axon must be eradicated.
Let the statement begin. Commence transfer.
Hundreds of dead people in there. Thousands.
We are at the scene of a mass murder.
Behold, the engine of time.
You're mad! The definition of insanity is to repeat the same mistake and expect a different result.
The ultimate experiment.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was the trailer for the Fourth Doctor Adventures, The Curse of Time. And it's the final release I'm going to talk about in this episode. I'll get to that in a sec. But The Curse of Time might again, as I've talked about in previous of these Big Finish recaps, I don't tend to re-listen to any Big Finish releases, especially because of the amount of new releases. Like I think in which month is it that they kind of are? So February's not too bad. It's kind of a Doctor Who release every year. March, kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 releases in that year Doctor Who, and then April is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so April 26 is blooming mad. That's like 2 Big Finish Doctor Who Big Finish releases every week. So that's why I don't have the time alongside work. Like it kind of is as hard to keep on top of it. Like I'm currently I've not fallen behind, but I am kind of going to head that way soon. And that's just because of me being in work. I don't have the podcast. Obviously, I don't have the time to listen to Big Finish all day. So, yeah. But kind of it is, that just, at that point, just being about realistic. So, back to The Curse of Time. Kind of, it was fun. I really remember really enjoying it. So, kind of, 2024 was the year of the Fourth Doctor. So if you've got any year that you want to listen to the 2024 Fourth Doctor Adventures, they are fantastic. Obviously, I've not, you or I have, because of when this episode is being released, have not heard to the 2026. So maybe it's a very similar thing, but as of recording and when you're seeing this episode and listening to this episode when it is being released, the kind of the 2024 series, as well as The Curse of Time, is fantastic. We've got the Sarah Jane and Harry, which we'll talk about, not in this episode, we'll talk about it in the next episode, because there's only 3 releases in the next episode to talk about, not 4, so I'll include it in that one. So it's kind of a 2-parter. But just so Matt doesn't want to kill me, I'm going to separate it just with kind of the amount of releases. I might do that in a future episodes as well, but just for this one. So yeah, The Curse of Time was fantastic. There's like musical bit. There's a kind of this planet where kind of technology is banned basically, and it's medieval and kind of so it's kind of back to when I was talking about the first Doctor Adventure, the Outlaws. Just all the stories set in that time just seem to be fantastic. So I would highly recommend The Curse of Time. But yeah, I am gonna kind of split this Fourth Doctor Adventures recap into half. So obviously the 2024 release, I've done this episode, and the next episode will hopefully listening it will be, and if you're watching the episode, who knows, but most likely. So without further ado, let me know what you thought of the releases I talked about in this episode. If you've heard of them, then let me know those, but if you haven't, let me know what you thought of my recap. Without further ado, I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.